Hi, welcome to the University of Miami School of Architecture. Thank you for joining us for a virtual walking tour of our labs, studios, and small classroom spaces. We're going to start with our SOA courtyard. This is really one of the main gathering spaces for our students. You would normally have this space filled with students talking about what happened in the weekend, talking about their next project, an idea, having lunch, or enjoying a cup of coffee from our Billy Goat. The Billy Goat structure was designed and built as part of our design build studio. We will later see that lab during our walking tour. The SOA courtyard is lined by two buildings. Our SOA library, which is housed in the ground and second floor of this building. The second floor has special collections and study rooms for our students. The other building houses all three floors of studio spaces. There's two kinds of studio spaces in there that we will see. And the third kind of studio space that we have at SOA, it's our award-winning Murphy Studio. At the end of the courtyard is our Paris Center. Our Paris Center holds our lecture hall, gallery space, and a medium-sized classroom. This is one of the studio types found in the Marian Manley buildings. This type has wider open bays. The second type we'll see shortly. They're smaller bays that house about 6 students. One of the really great things about our Marian buildings is all the natural light it allows for our students to work with. This is a similar space of similar typology, where the wide open bays connect with one another. This is a smaller bay studio space, which as mentioned before, holds about 6 students. 2 of these bays would normally be one studio assigned to one faculty member. So you have an average of 10 to 11 students per studio. This is our Paris Center, which houses a gallery space, a small classroom at the end, and a large lecture hall that holds about 100 students. Really, the only time that the lecture hall is utilized to full capacity is during history classes and some of the building systems classes. This is the gallery space. The space has multiple uses. If there's no exhibit set up in the space, students use the space also for their midterm presentations, final presentations, or mid-semester presentations. Right now the exhibit up is curated by one of our faculty members, Professor Lemaire. The second half of the gallery has been set up for our urban design studio, which we're undergoing a charrette. At the end of this building, there's a small classroom that holds about 30 seats. This is typically where structures classes and special topics classes take place. On the opposite side of our courtyard and Paris building, we have another studio building. All 3 floors of this building are also studio spaces. These are in similar style as the previous one shown, where it's smaller bays rather than the large open space. This building also houses our model shop, our rad lab, and our design build studio, which sits behind it. Straight ahead is our model shop, and Max will meet us here to give you a tour of our fabrication lab and model shop.
Now we'll go on a tour of the architecture model shop. In the model shop, we typically have 2 employees working to assist students in fabricating their models. We have a variety of safety equipment for students to use while they're working inside the model shop. We have cabinets full of tools that students are allowed to rent out if they need to use them outside of the model shop. We have a series of bays for students to work. Students can sit at these desks and use the hand tools provided to assemble their models. We currently have 8 of those desks. Here's the second bay of desks. In addition to the desks, we have a series of typically woodworking equipment for students to use. We also have a variety of clamps for students to use as they glue their model. And in addition to this equipment, we have a closet that allows students to borrow some power tools like drills, sanders, and that kind of equipment. In the next bay, we have a series of equipment meant for working with larger materials. But additionally, we have the Design Build Lab, which is located immediately next door to the model shop. The Design Build Lab is where the Design Build classes are held. These are led by the Design Build department. This entire building is open air, so they open the louvers and have a nice, cool, shaded working space where they build all of their design build projects. In the fabrication lab, we have 4 laser cutting machines. Typically, students use acrylics, woods, cardboards, chipboards, so students can buy the materials directly from us, bring them in, cut to size, and use them to cut on our machines. In addition to the laser cutter, we have 1 vinyl cutter. This can be used by students to make decals and cut different types of vinyls that then can be applied to different surfaces. In addition to laser cutting, we have a variety of options for 3D printing. We currently have 5 Ultimakers that are free for students to use, including the filament. This allows students to rapidly prototype and print their different architectural designs. Here you can see one architectural model being printed. We also have a powder printer. This prints on a powder composite and prevents high-resolution models to be printed by students by essentially gluing different layers together and then vacuuming the leftover powder. In addition to the 3D printers that are in the lab, we've also purchased 3 3D printers that will be located in the student studios that they will have 24-hour access to print their models. Students also have access to our new robotic arm, which is a 7-axis machine that allows students to mill or wire cut different types of models up to an 8-foot working diameter. It has a rotary table, so this table spins with the student projects on it, while the other 6 axes of the robot move around to move the head where it can make their model.
Straight ahead, we have our award-winning Murphy Studio building. This provides the 3rd type of studio space for the school. It's a large open space that has seats for about 100 students. The administration building holds 2 small classrooms. The first one we'll see, it's more of a seminar style, which is more proper for a lot of the discussion sessions that we host here. The space is multifunctional, so sometimes it's used for reviews, other times it's used as a classroom and discussion area. This is a medium-sized classroom, and some of the larger electives and special topic sections are hosted in here. Thank you again for joining us for the virtual walking tour of the School of Architecture at the University of Miami. If you have any pending questions, you can reach out to us at our office number, 305-284-3731. We hope to see you on campus soon.